much, Stacia, and thanks to everybody. It's just a great honour to be here this morning and to see such a good turnout after Brady's last night. So it's really great that people were able to get up early and come to this session, and we have such good number of people here. Thank you to our last two speakers. There's a lot that they said that's very, very relevant to our work in Ireland and what we're trying to do here, and some of the issues and the challenges that we're facing on an ongoing basis. Just a word about myself. My background is in community development. I've worked with Travellers, worked with the National Women's Council, and now I work with Community Work Ireland. So I've kind of seen from different sectors, or the same sector but different perspectives, the changes that have occurred in Ireland and how our state is or is not supporting community development currently. I also want to thank all of the speakers and all of the contributors to the conference so far. I know we still have another day to go, but I really do feel that all of the presentations that I've heard have acted as a huge stimulus for me and for, I think, my organisation, Community Work Ireland, in terms of, to quote the title of the conference, in terms of our analysis and our actions. A stimulus to permanently take off whatever blinkers we have on us now and to consistently look to the big picture, as well as fighting more specific campaigns. And to connect also our work to address the very real poverty and inequality in this country with the global struggle and work of those in other parts of the world. So we've spent the last 2 days, and we'll spend today, speaking to, sharing and learning from each other in what I hope have been spaces of solidarity and constructive dialogue and debate. And challenge too. Of course, we haven't all agreed on every aspect of all of the conversations that we've had, and neither should we. But I think that what we do share as an international group of community workers, policymakers, academics, is a collective agreement that community work or community development, we use the terms interchangeably, is a powerful force for positive change in society, in relation to the environment and the future of our planet, and in the lives of those who need change most. What we share too is a recognition of and a commitment to ensuring that the community work values of human rights, equality, collectivity, sustainability, empowerment, social justice and solidarity inform all of the work that we do. What we agree as a collective group is a view that growing unfettered capitalism and neoliberal globalisation, the rise of the right, growing tensions, inter-community divisions and racism, forced migration, environmental destruction, human rights violations for the estimated 68.5 million displaced people throughout the world, the failure to recognise Indigenous peoples' rights, the fear and terror experienced by the 1 in 3 women in the world who have experienced physical or sexual violence, and the extreme poverty forced upon over half the world's population, call on us to collectively and consistently call out and challenge those who perpetuate and allow these situations to persist. Here in Ireland, and I suppose thinking about global solidarity, sometimes we think about we have to support other people in other parts of the world. We're fine here, but we really need to be in solidarity and support everybody else. But in fact, our own history in this country has been one of looking for support and solidarity from other countries. We are one of the richest countries in the world, yet we continue to need support from others to help us to deal with the human rights abuses that happen in our own country. We have, throughout history, been a country of emigration. There are a few Irish people in the room today who have not been touched by either ourselves or our families or our friends by the harsh reality of forced migration as a way out of poverty and unemployment. Our country has failed consistently to protect and promote the human rights of women in so many ways, incarcerating thousands in infamous Magdalene laundries and mother and baby homes, and placing their children in orphanages or giving them up for adoption without consent. Survivors of these institutions left our shores in their thousands, hoping to find peace and security elsewhere, not believing that they could ever find it here. Women have for decades been forced to leave this country to access essential reproductive health care and abortion services. The recent overwhelming vote to remove the Eighth Amendment, the constitutional ban on women accessing reproductive health care and abortion services, gives us great hope in the power of grassroots movements and the potential for change. And just a particular word to those who came home to vote, thousands who came home to vote, young people from all over the world who came home to vote in that referendum, in the belief that their vote could make a real and lasting difference. Our conference has presented us with many, many challenges, and I suppose I'm just reflecting them myself, my own views on this. So reflecting on them, I've tried to identify some that are standing out starkly for me as we reach this point in the conference programme. There'll probably be others by the end of the day. And I've actually spoken to other people about how they've seen the conference and what kind of issues and challenges are emerging for them. One challenge for me is the need to develop and advance ways for us to learn, develop and grow as community work practitioners, deepening and strengthening our analysis, our actions, and our ability to ensure the meaningful participation of marginalised communities in the decisions that affect their lives, deepening and strengthening our capacity to address the enormous power imbalances which exist between rich and poor throughout the world, to work towards real progress in our agenda for positive social change. So that bit about how do we learn, how do we grow, do we even give that any attention? Because we're so busy running around filling out tendering forms and reports and so on. So this challenge came to the fore for me, Jim, when you spoke yesterday about the environmental agenda and the need to place environmental concerns and the protection of the planet at the heart of our community work agenda. I, for one, as a community worker, sat there going, oh my God, how are we going to do this? And thinking that I need help and support to make this happen and to do this work in a way that is effective, collective, local, national and international. So again, that is just one issue. But we need to constantly upskill ourselves and develop and deepen our analysis in so many areas. Another challenge for me is the need to consciously and proactively avoid what Bernadette McAlliskey referred to yesterday as the pacification of community workers. Anger, I believe anyway, if challenged positively and constructively, can be a positive force for change. We cannot and must not allow bureaucracy, funding constraints, governance, management procedures, report writing, tendering, impact and outcome measurement to blur our vision, destroy our passion, quench our anger or divert our eyes from the big picture and most pressing, urgent and critical issues of our time. In short, we cannot allow ourselves to become conservative, complacent or comfortable. This leads to another, that of not being afraid to bite the hand that feeds us. And in our workshop, one of our workshops, we talked about a campaign which we would call the right to bite. We've got to fight for the right to our autonomy, regardless of our funding sources. We've got to fight for recognition for and resourcing of autonomous community work and participatory democracy as an essential part of all democracies. But we know that community work is about turning challenges into opportunities. Some of you here said to me yesterday that rather than focusing on barriers and challenges, we should be looking at opportunities. They pointed to the belief that this conference, for example, has provided them with a catalyst to take courage, take a step back, rethink, regroup and reorganise around the things that are most important and demand a greater say in the kind of work that they're doing. They spoke about the importance of collective gatherings of this kind in strengthening resolve and providing a sense of solidarity and support, in particular for those working at grassroots level, providing encouragement to move from a position of lurking in community work to one of stepping into the light and articulating clearly what they are seeking to achieve. And so after today, we'll go home. But I hope not in the sense described by Bernadette yesterday, where we saw at the end of her presentation that if we don't care about these things, we might as well go home. I hope we'll go home with fire in our bellies and enthusiasm and conviction, and with determination to turn our challenges into opportunities and to join the pushback that Suzanne spoke about. Thank you.